Yeah, what up, world? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here at the Tag Champs Podcast. You already know my name, Mr. Beige Bomber, the Petty Messiah, your boy, Corey Jarrett, the Belt Collector, in the building.
And y'all know what time it is, man. Don't watch me, watch Dynamite TV, Guru Dynamite in the building. But, man, it's brutal outside, bro. And it's real hot.
Heat time.
I don't need no, you know what? Y'all got, no, we ain't got water. I know what I got. Especially for y'all, we got some ice, baby. We got Ice Mania in the building,
Ice
man.
Mania.
Ice Mania in the building, man.
It's running wild here in Houston.
The reality of wrestling.
Reality of wrestling world heavyweight champion.
And new.
That's right. That's right, gentlemen. That's right.
Sir.
And we also got our buddy back, Gaspar Hernandez. You know, the Heat traveling packs, man.
Yeah, that's right. You guys asked me to do this. I thought I was coming into hostile territory because I know you guys are buddy with Culture Inc. So I know.
Okay.
And I ain't rolling up by myself here. I just won this thing. I'm the brand new king of Texas now.
We want to go jump the world champ.
We want to go jump the world champ, man.
I ain't taking that risk. Summer of Champions is next Saturday.
I mean, but we done had Heat. We done had Heat members on here, so we friends with the Heat too.
Yeah, we had Q and G's back on the show with us. So hey, we're big fans of the Heat. So don't worry about it. We don't want to take your belt. Yeah,
G stands you down like you better be.
Man, let me make sure
better be.
He next to you too.
Yeah, that's why I was like, to get me up against the wall or something, man. But thank y'all for coming to the show, man. We really appreciate it. Thank y'all. This is episode 2, and everybody got the straps.
That's right. We all did our part today.
Yeah, everybody did their part today. Thank you, Ryan.
Sorry about that, Ryan.
But anyway, man, get it started, man. Matty Ice, I want to know what got you into the business. Of course, you were from Rosemont, Illinois.
That's right. Yeah, right around there.
I want to know what got you into the business, man.
So, you ever heard of like not growing up? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I never did that. So.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, I think
that's what we're doing right now, right? So when I started wrestling, right? So I was kind of always like had an interest in it, but I never really acted on it, right? So I would do a lot of other things. I did baseball because my old man kind of really wanted to embed in us like baseball was the way to go. So my father he bought a batting cage for our backyard, a pitching machine, a 32 baseball feeder, and he had constructed a pitcher's mound that was probably better than most practice mounds for MLB. It was absolutely insane. He was so hardcore on us. But for me, if I wasn't pitching or if I wasn't hitting, baseball kind of got a little boring for me. And the second I was done with baseball, it was probably right around time for what would be, I guess, second or third year of college. So I had just finished my associate's degree from local college, and I got into Roosevelt University in downtown Chicago. I had taken a blank check with me, and I had signed up for all my classes, and then this lady behind this nice, it wasn't plexiglass, it was definitely bulletproof glass though. She was behind the glass, and she was like, okay, it's gonna be, whatever the number was back then. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, if I don't do anything right now about what I want to do in life, I'm never gonna do it. So I took the check, and like in a blank stare, I started walking towards the elevator, because it's in the city, so it's in a high-rise building rather than like a college sort of university setup that you would see. So I'm walking like this, blank stare, beeline it, and all I could hear, the only thing I could hear really was, sir. I'm pushing the button. I'm like, I don't want to hear no more sirs. I close the elevator. Next day I sign up at a wrestling school, and how many years it is now, this is 11th year in wrestling, so 11-year mistake. So 11 years of pain, grit, blood, sweat, and tears later, here I am.
Okay, man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, so 11 years in the business, and like I said, I had to do some studying on you last night, man. Right. And you've been in Chicago style wrestling, Premier Pro Wrestling, 2-time champ, by the way, 2-time heavyweight champ.
Where?
Premier Pro.
No.
What was that? Or was that OVW?
OVW, Kentucky.
6-time champion of
Six-time
PPW.
champion.
6-time heavyweight champion of PPW. Longest reigning PPW
Don't want to
Don't disrespect.
No, yeah.
disrespect,
Who you think you are, man? I
disrespect.
took a little history about Premier Pro Wrestling. That's where I was. I want to give that the credit to where I was trained. The guy named there was Rockin' Randy Ritchie. He wrestled as Jerry Fox for Vince. He was production manager at TNA. He was essentially trained by Lawler, Jerry Lawler. He worked in the Memphis territories, so he was big in Memphis. He worked down here in Dallas. Well, not here in Dallas, but in Texas, in Dallas, at World Class Championship. He was one of the last few people I know who've been in the Sportatorium and performed in the Sportatorium. Oh yeah, he's friends with Savio Vega, Miguelito Perez down in Puerto Rico, because he was down in Puerto Rico helping produce the shows down there. And like I said, he was also production manager for TNA. That guy is responsible for teaching me the majority of my core concepts of what I know about wrestling. And when we first started at the facility of where they are today, we went and took the company on YouTube, because everybody wanted to build a big YouTube following. And this is like, we're talking shoestring budget, all right? No production value whatsoever. So just the appreciation of reality of wrestling is just, I'm going to tell you right now, it's, Joe Mack's going to thank me for this, immaculate. So it's absolutely phenomenal, because coming from where I come from, it's a whole different world, you know? So I'm very appreciative of it here. But like I said, shoestring budget, we took the company from maybe 1,000 followers to just under 50,000 followers in maybe a year or two. With me as the headliner for that year straight to do that. So that's one of my biggest feathers in my cap that I'm kind of proud of.
And I had to make sure I put in my notes six times.
Six-time Vine, that's right.
Make sure I correct that.
You mean the internet was wrong?
Surprisingly, you know? Yeah, usually whatever you get off the internet, they're usually correct. But surprisingly, they messed me up a little bit there. So like I said, and you traveled, you've been in the business for 11 years, and have you been in multiple companies?
Yeah, I have, but I try and stay around the places where I can learn the most. So OVW is a fucking trek for me from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky. But on a weekly basis, I'm down there, and that's a 5.5 hour drive. 5.5 hours straight down to Louisville, Kentucky. And the way they have their setup under good old Al Snow, how you doing? They have never strayed. When WWE pulled out of there faster than a guy who didn't want to get a girl pregnant, they left behind the ring, which is the only 20 by 20 ring that I have been in. To this day, it's the only 20 by 20 ring that I've been in. They remove the ropes and put cables in, but everything else essentially is about as close as you can, at least ring-wise, to what WWE was. The way they produce their show is exactly how WWE, as I'm talking like a television structure, not the way they book the show, but the television structure is the same way that WWE books the show. Why not go down there and learn how they do things on a place that you would aspire to want to be on, right? Why would I not go down there and go to one of the only places that books things or runs things the same way that WWE runs things as far as a TV block? They have 4 or 5 agents that you got to communicate with to do these matches, and you got to do everything that they would have you do over in WWE. What's the break? What are you doing? How's it going to come back? What are we going to do with this? This is live. Everything is live. It's not pre-produced, not cut up in post or anything like that. It's straight up out there, man. We're live, pal. Yeah, right. You know? So, yeah. So that's how that place is. So why not go down there and learn from that? You know, Al Snow has a name, so Doug Basham has a name. It's knowledge. Knowledge is valuable in this business. A lot of people now, they come up and they get trained, and don't get me wrong, they're athletic, they're good, they can put on a great match, but there's so much more than just putting on a good match in this business. There's so much more to it that not a lot of people see. And it all stems from learning from these people who have done something in this business. I mean, if you look at my track record, right? The guy who trained me worked in Memphis World Class Championship, Puerto Rico, TNA, and Vince's. He is responsible for getting Edge out of dark matches and putting him on the main show.
Yep.
They were going to get rid of Edge until he had the match with the guy that was training me.
Oh.
And then they were like, wow, okay, you made him look great. Let's see if we're going to give him a shot on main TV tonight. And then he started killing it. And then Adam Copeland is Edge that you know today. Insane, right? So I learned from that kind of guy. Then I learned from Al Snow and Adam Revolver, who's been there for forever and a day, and he was trained under Danny Davis. Doug Basham is Danny Davis's nephew. Doug Basham.
I did not know that part.
Yeah, not many people. You knew that?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wow. I was gonna say, I'm impressed.
that.
And when you are around these kind of guys, you learn so much history about how things are done and things you want to stay away from and things you don't want to say, things you want to say, how to present what you want to do, being a locker room prince, everything that goes into this from the inside out. And it's almost the same as kind of how you put matches together, but it's sometimes it's a freaking headache. It really is. It's like, oh God, I gotta mind my P's and Q's with this. Oh, can I remember this? Well, Gaspar hates jelly sandwiches, so I don't want to bring this around. I'm gonna walk away. Or some stupid shit like that you just, unwritten rules that are just unbelievable. But it's good. I'd rather know it than not. Yeah. I'd rather know it than not. They say ignorance is bliss, but knowledge is definitely power in this.
Yes, it is.
So, kids, for those who don't know what OVW is, that's the promotion that was out before NXT. I have to educate.
Before.
Oh yeah.
They produced John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista,
Brock Lesnar.
Just a few of your
Shelton
favorites.
Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin as well.
Who is
5'2".
regular over at Raw, is he not? Shows up almost all the time.
So just giving y'all a little insight of what OVW is.
And
I have
it's
to educate the
take it even a step further though. So OVW is the predecessor for the predecessor of NXT.
FCW.
Because it goes OVW, FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, and then NXT.
Yeah.
So that's how old it is. That's how old all the heroes that you see on TV now are. John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. That's how far back it was. We're talking early 2000s.
Prototype John Cena. That's
Prototype.
insane.
Generic 5, John Cena.
Generic number 5. On call, creator wrestler.
Right.
That's right.
So tell us about your time in Impact and NWA.
Okay, so Impact, I was only there for like a cup of coffee, man. Yeah, I was only there for a cup of coffee. I'm not gonna come up like, oh, it was a great time. I was gonna do something really good.
Who was running it at that time?
Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore was it? Okay.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore was still running it. So he still is today.
Yeah.
I don't even think I spoke 5 words to Scott D'Amore. It's like, hey, how you doing, sir? And that's about it. So I actually was the reason that I was given the opportunity I was because I so that would be Tough Enough. Anybody remember Tough Enough at all? You do. You
Definitely remember that.
Okay, you remember a guy named Skidmark?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
I do remember Skidmark.
No way.
I do remember
this is about to get good.
Yeah, I do remember Skidmark.
Skidmark, believe it or not, wrestles at OVW. His name is Ryan Howe.
Howe, yeah.
He's actually a really good friend of mine. And he's finally changed one hell of a character now. He's this rock star from England sort of deal because the guy he can go on guitar. And he, let me tell you, like he has this amazing British accent that he can do. And so he's decided to get it in his head like, hey, I'm going to be this British rock star. And when I'm pissed, I'm going to go back to English. Or American English. I'll speak.
That is genius.
I'm going to speak the Queen's English, or now the King's English.
Right.
I'm going to speak the King's English when I'm all cocky and confident, but when I'm pissed off, it's back to American. Screw you. And I'm going to stomp a muddle on you. So him and I had this big feud in the summer of 22. And Impact is regularly in and out of OVW. They always keep tabs on them. So they saw what we were doing, and Al was like, I think you should take these two and give them an opportunity. We were supposed to have matches against guys on their roster. A couple things fell out. I think Mahabali Shira, not separated, dislocated his shoulder from the socket. And he had like everybody moved. They had to move the whole thing around. So it ended up being me and Ryan again on Impact. And needless to say, we did a lot better than we thought we did. But I'm a little bit of a critic. So when D'Lo's like, there's this one little thing that I would change, like, oh shit, I had a terrible match. It was the most minuscule thing we did. It was like a shove and then back in the fight. He's like, if I'm shoving you, right, I'm gonna, like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna beat your ass. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, so we did this kind of like shove thing, and I'm like, okay, so you live and you learn, right? So certain things like that I picked up on. I'm like, okay, well, never doing that shit again. So this like little things like that, but like, oh, damn it, they didn't like it. Damn. So I was in my head for all of like 30 minutes, and then I was like, okay, whatever. But Ryan and I, working with Ryan Howe was one of the most exhilarating experiences that I've had. And for them to notice what we were doing at OVW and then getting that in Impact. And then we had like one or two other stints. We did a couple security gigs, and then we were supposed to have another match, and that got thrown out. And that was pretty much it. I think I may have had one other match that's probably not even worth talking about at Impact. But NWA has been, let's see, it's been about a year or so now that I've been there, in and out since my injury. But that is one, in a good way, exhausting experience. So they will bring you to where, so let's say we have the showing in, let's say they did North Carolina. So you're going into North Carolina, they bring you into North Carolina, you got your hotel, you go to the hotel, they have this itinerary list, and it's like a mile long of how they do these things. And it's like a lot of work goes into it. Almost just reading it makes me exhausted. My eyes are like puffed. So we are there for, sometimes they'll film 2 TV shows worth a day, 3-hour blocks, 2 3-hour blocks in a day. So you are there for a long, long time.
Waiting for your moment.
Once for you to go out there, you got like whatever, matches maybe 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. But you're there for 3 hours to get to that 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And then you got to wait, and then another 3 hours to get to that 8 minutes, 10 minutes, if you're even on that show. So it's exhausting up here, but it also challenges you to be like, okay, I got to stay on my feet and be ready when I'm needed. Hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. Stay alert, stay alert. Stay alert, screw off. Stay alert, fuck off. Stay alert, screw off. Constantly on your toes, right? Kind of remind you of some other place?
OVW.
Can you remind you of a bigger place in OVW? A 3-letter organization that starts with W?
Yeah, the machine.
They definitely tell you that.
Yes.
I was just going to say that it set you up for it.
When I was backstage at WWE for Survivor Series, it was the same way. Same way. Everybody was walking around. They were either running to where they had to do, or it was like, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how are you doing? Oh, get out of my way. I got to go. Pitter-patter running to wherever the hell they had to go. That's exactly how it is. It's the same thing. So it's exhausting, but at the same time, it's like keeps you ready.
Keeps you alert.
Yeah.
Stay ready.
So one of your notable matches that I did go and actually look at was your match with Jay Lethal. How was that?
Oh, yeah, I was semi recently. Yeah, me and Jay, dude. So, a funny story with Jay. I come in because that was down in Kentucky. That was in Lexington, Kentucky, and there's a guy that runs that company. He's a good dude. His name's Tony Presley. Runs New South LLC. Really, he's been a great guy to me. He always likes to put me up against people that are on TV. From him, I got to wrestle Pillman Jr.
Nick you see that?
Nick, okay, you go ahead.
And then Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
EC3.
Yeah, that's OVW, but yeah.
It's OVW.
Yeah.
I think that's how I.
And then there's Moose as well. That'll probably be posting sometime soon. I got to wrestle Moose as well. Yeah, Moose is my boy, man. Don't say nothing bad about Moose. I love Moose. He's my boy.
I watch that one.
Him and I we had the same trainer, so same coach. He's an awesome dude. I love him. He called me a couple of days ago. He's like, dude, man, I feel fat. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he sends me a picture of him like coming out the curtain from Impact, and he's like, stacked. Like he's got boulders for shoulder. Like I like to think I have big shoulders. I'm like, dude, if I got softball for shoulders, you got bowling balls for shoulders. Dude, what the hell you got to complain about? And he's like, he's thinking like, dude, I'm fat though. I'm like, I see abs, man. And like you sent it from your iPhone. So like that Google Pixel quantity that comes over to mine, you know, so that comes over to my Samsung. It's still fuzzy, but I'm still seeing abs. So what do you got to complain about, dude? Like, he's like, I just don't understand. He goes, I'm 10 pounds up. I'm like, who cares?
Where?
Where, bro? Who cares? So I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're in your head more than I am. Like, whatever. Like, Moose, just give it a couple of days. And he tells me, he's like, yeah, I went overboard on my cheat meal. I'm like, and you wonder why you're about 10 pounds heavier? You're like, oh, all right, you're right. 30 minutes of this. 30 minutes of this. I'm like, dude, you just went overboard on your cheat day. That's all you did, man. Just give it a couple days. That water weight will go away. So working down at New South, Jay Lethal, going back to him, right? Oh, God bless that guy. He's so cool, man. He comes in and he's already like talking because we had to do 2 matches back to back, and we had to do a segment because it was his birthday. And he goes, I guess all these guys are coming out with a gift and you're not? I'm like, nah, I'm not coming out there with jack diddly shit for you. And I'm like, screw your birthday, man. We're working. And he goes, damn. All right. Yeah, I figured as much. So we're going out and we got pretty much what we want to do out there. And then we have the match. And then it breaks into a 6-man tag match and we come in the back and he looks at me as we go. I'm coming in the back because it's like I was one of the last few guys to come in the back. And he's already back there, and you can see the steam coming off of him. Right, like he's hot. He's like sweaty as hell. He is blown up, and I'm probably the same way. Like I looked at myself. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of steamy. I can see the steam coming off of his head. He is hot, and all I see him is he cuts this like dumbass smile. He's like, we were doing something in there, huh? I'm like, I don't know what your first clue was. It's like, dude, by the time you picked me up for that slam, and then I'm coming down, I wanted to tell you, I was like, we're kind of working, aren't we? I'm like, yeah, I'm about to die out there, but you know what? Yeah, we're kind of working. Yeah, sure, man. You do this on a regular basis, but like, yeah, okay. This small, condensed studio building with a tin roof that the heat just like sucks into. I'm like, okay, man. Like this may be your cup of, I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, hey, it's your rodeo. I'll just be there for you. Mm-hmm. I'll just hold the bull for you. Let's do this, right? So I'm trying to make sure I don't screw anything he had set up. Mm-hmm. And topple that with like, fuck, we are really moving out here, man. Okay. So for him to come back, like, we were working out there, weren't we? I'm like, when's your first fucking clue? Yeah. But yeah, he was funny, man. He was cool. Yeah, working with him, I was so hot and blown up at that point. We were one of the refs there to start the match. He looks exactly like Dean Ambrose. He's a buddy of mine. His name's Dave Harmon. He'll probably give me shit for talking about him like that. The guy looks like straight up like Dean Ambrose, an unathletic Dean Ambrose, but he's a ref. So I'm talking to Jay, and I'm like, screw you two guys. You guys are too much of chicken shits to get in the ring and tell this guy you want to have a match with him to his face. I'm in your ring right now. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a sec. Dean? What are you doing here? AEW's in like 2 hours. He starts crying, and I look over and I see Jay Lethal. He's like, he's dying. And I look back over. There's another guy that's at that show. His name's Drew Hernandez. He's a good dude. He wrestles at the Mile and Mauler. He's like dying laughing. And then him and I were in the 6-man afterwards. And he's trying to jaw jack after me, like we're trying to get back in the ring, and they're holding us back. And he goes, where were you? I'm like, where do you think I was? Same place as you. He's like, well, who was holding you back? I'm like, who do you think? The guy that's getting the PS4 after the show. Because they got him a PS4 for the show. It was unbelievable. Dang. They got Jay Lethal a payday and a PS4 and a hotel room for that show. Like, that is one hell of a birthday. That's one hell of a birthday.
That's definitely a win.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my independence experience. I don't think I've really worked for other places. And when I started at CSW, but there's really not much to talk about there. Yeah, really not much.
Well, now go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was gonna say, but now you're in reality of wrestling.
That I am. Yeah.
How is it working with the big man book? How is that on a basis with y'all, man?
How would you say? How'd you say it is? Well, you've been working with him a little bit longer than me. How would you say it is? You probably shit in your pants every time.
I'm still just closed mouth, ears open. That's all I have.
Closed mouth. That's the best policy to have, I guess. Yeah. For me, it's cool. It's kind of cool to get to know the man himself. You know, very fortunate to have called the man, and it was on his birthday, and he picks up, and I'm like, Book, I'm sorry, it doesn't sound like you're even in the country. The dial tone's very weird. He's like, yeah, man, I'm in Cancun for my birthday. What are you picking up from me for? Like, what? Like, okay, yeah, so, hey, man, just to let you know, I'm just wondering if there's going to be the show on this date, because I got hit up by NWA, but I'd rather, come and do this show. It's going to be a big show. He's like, oh, no, man, we're not doing this show. That's fine. Go ahead, handle your business. Okay, well, happy birthday, and talk to you soon. Like, what the hell? I'm sitting at the airport one day with the flight from hell. Not even the flight from hell, the cancellation from hell. Sat at the airport for like 6 hours before they canceled my flight, and then had to they rebooked me for later in the evening the day afterward. I was ready to kill somebody, but while I was there, I called Book and talking about, hey man, anytime we can go over and review these matches and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, man, absolutely. I spent another 30 minutes on the phone with him, just talking on the phone there in the airport. So it's been great. It's really been great to know him as the person. Like, the best part is, and I think somebody said this recently, I think Jay Alexander said this like on an Instagram post, is who he is behind the scenes is who he is out there.
Out there, yeah.
And that's like gold, the weight in gold. Because you know what that means? He doesn't have to do anything. He don't gotta do anything. Just be himself.
Book is book.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part, man. That's the best part about the whole deal, is when you don't have to fucking do anything. If you notice, the way I wrestle is a little bit different than the way the guys at Row wrestle. Like, I don't fucking do shit. I don't do shit now. But you probably think you're thinking that I am, but I don't do fucking shit.
Yeah, that match at the last match with Edge Stone, y'all was just beating the hell out of each other. That was insane, man. I was watching that. That was insane. I loved it. But anyway, and now with the Heat, y'all got all the gold.
All of them, baby.
I actually have a picture with that too. We're gonna post it on this when it gets edited, but I have a picture with you guys all with the belts.
Oh, it's like that makes one of you, because I don't. I'm waiting for it.
I'll send it to you.
The most successul group in reality of wrestling right now. They got tag straps with Gaspar, what you call them, GQ, Gaspar, Mysterious Q.
Yeah, Gaspar, Mysterious Q.
We'll have the Diamonds champ soon. We'll over here, Miss Promise Braxton. I'm sorry, don't want to mess that up. And now the new reality of wrestling world heavyweight champion, and I'm hoping that he can hold it for a little long time. So
I would say a long time, not a little long time.
Well, I mean, you gotta grow at some point. So
I'm getting buried with this thing, man. What are you talking about?
I like that.
I'm getting buried with this thing. If I go off to WWE, I'm taking this thing with me. Hey. Buck, here's. How much does belts cost nowadays? I don't know, $3,500. Go find yourself a new belt. I'm taking this one. I'm taking this to the grave.
You gonna hijack it? You gonna sing?
Damn right I am. I was telling you before the show, like, because I brought just the gym bag with me this time to come on out here. That's right. I flew out here to just do this.
Hey, Tag Champs Podcast.
That's right. That's right. We're putting this baby up and wait. I flew from Chicago to do the Tag Champs Podcast.
Yes,
baby.
sir. Yes, sir.
I was going through TSA, and this thing don't really fit in my bag. So I'm walking this thing right through security over my damn shoulder. Like, that's got to go on the belt, right? I'm like, you're damn right it does. But as soon as it gets off the belt, it's going back on my shoulder. I had to walk right through security with this thing, man. So, yeah, if I'm walking through security with this thing, it's getting buried 6 feet under with me. So,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey, champ gonna stay champ.
Champ gonna stay champ. I got my money on him.
That's right. You better.
Got my money on him.
Better take your Vegas bets now.
I take my Vegas bets, man.
That's right. I think was it Brad Gilmore? It was like, although they are not an official sponsor of the show, yes, DraftKings would be a great place to place your bets.
So, with that being said, Summer Champions coming up. We got some big matches coming up. We got you and Ed Stone, the rematch in a cage match.
Me and Edge 3. Yeah, in a cage, steel cage. I have only been in one steel cage match, and it was absolutely dreadful. It was just dreadful. It was a 6-man steel cage match down in OVW. And now I know why they say it takes years off your career. I really do. Just climbing the son of a bitch alone is cutting your fingers open. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I never thought, I'm like, oh, okay, it can't be that difficult. Oh, fuck yeah, man, climbing that's a pain in the ass. First of all, my feet are too damn big. I got freaking flipper feet, I guess, and they don't fit in the holes for me to actually climb it. And the one, at least at OVW, I think the one here at Rose is slightly better quality. I would not say slightly being the operative word there, but I would say much better quality than the one at OVW. I just think that by the time I was getting, it must have been like 20 feet in the air. This thing, it was so high up. Everything at OVW, they like over exaggerate a lot of. They do like keys to the a contract on a pole match, and the pole for some reason is taller than 3 gas bars. Right? I was just like, I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, thank God I'm probably not going to win this thing tonight because I'm not climbing Everest today.
I'm not trying to
I ain't freaking climbing Everest today. I did not go to fireman school, you know. And the same thing with this steel cage. I'm looking up. I'm like, I better not win this match. Screw this. Either that or like somebody open the door for me.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah. Like, why would I do? Who climbs? This door right there.
Yeah. Right.
You know. So it was so brutal, and it had 2 compartments. Right. So they had the first one that would go just above the ropes, and then they have another one that's just as high. Right. So it is super freaking tall. It's not 3 gas bars, but it's probably 2.5. Okay, so it's freaking high, man. It is high up there, and you got to go over. And there's no like, you know how they round it off at the top, and WWE has that nice structure where you could probably sit and have a picnic on top of if you placed it nice enough. Yeah, OVWs didn't have that. It was almost like barbed wire caging. They would go up there, so it's like, man. I'm like,
fencing it.
Dude, I'm like, I ain't going up there. No, I'll walk out the cage door. Somebody give me a boot or something. Get me out of here, please. Somebody pin me. You know, I don't want to be in. I'll be the job squad for the day. But yeah, like, dude, no.
So we've actually been to an event, reality wrestling event where we've seen the cage. It's high. It's definitely high.
Yeah.
I think we went to the all day and cold one.
Oh yeah, that was kind of recently. Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
So yeah, you definitely gonna have to. You're not gonna climb. You're gonna walk out. We're gonna walk.
Why would I work for? If you notice, like I said, I don't do shit, man.
He's smart. You got a door right there.
That's right. There's a door. Either that or I'm gonna knock that sumbitch out.
So the reason why I got you favored in there because you got the man with the plan in the back pocket. You got book in your back pocket.
Yeah, but I can't bring him in the cage with me.
You can't bring him in the cage.
No, man.
But we've seen what managers.
I still got to talk to him after this a little bit about what we're gonna be doing.
We've seen managers have a big effect in cage matches all over in wrestling.
Yeah.
And don't forget Nick Patrick's refereeing.
Yeah.
That helps.
Nick Patrick.
That helps a bit.
Patrick is
I think he greased the palm there a little bit.
Yeah. Greased the palm,
or something.
I don't know the guy. I heard he had a referee match a long time ago. I don't know the guy. I know Book knows him. I know Book knows him. I don't really know the guy.
We'll see.
And it was Charmel that said, "Let's get Nick Patrick in there." So I don't feel too confident about that.
You're right.
You know,
she probably agrees with
Mama Huffman. You know, that's
right.
Thanks a lot, Mama Bear.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, but I mean, damn, yeah, that's tough.
You know,
that's tough.
Yeah.
She did do that.
She was the one. She was the one.
I can't say.
And that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And unfortunately, right now, Book and Charmel are not on good terms as far as reality is concerned.
Oh man.
So. I do not know. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. All I know is I just got to go and kick Edge Stone's ass. That's what I got to go
and
do.
Remain your world heavyweight champion.
That's
World heavyweight
right.
champion.
That's right.
I have to ask, out of all the guys you've faced, who's hit you the hardest?
Hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
Shit.
Who have you taken that?
Yeah.
Whoa, bell ringer.
I don't want to say stiff or anything like that, but just who hit you the hardest and like, you're like, oh, damn, I was not ready for that.
Shit. On accident or just like because they're normally just more snug?
Accident. It's
On
more
accident?
It could be that.
Okay, I'll give you the answer to both then. So on accident, I would say a guy named Willie Richardson Jr. He was down in CSW. He cold clocked me out of fucking nowhere. And I get up. That or Jose Acosta in Premier Pro Wrestling. And he didn't hit me. He tried to do like a half-ass Starship Pain sort of move from like John Morrison. Hit me and like my whole body, like you know how when your arm goes to sleep, your hand goes to sleep? Whole body sensation. I'm like, and this dude's like, I'm like, get away from me. I can't move. And he's trying to cover me. I'm like, dick. Kicking out like this. God, it was the weirdest feeling ever because that lasted for a good 30 seconds. But Willie, he cold cocked me, but he took a liking to me growing up in the business. Inadvertently gave me my first concussion when I was learning how to take clotheslines. Didn't, but so I took, so him, and then the snuggest people in the ring have to be between. Now this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing though. Right. Atlas J. Horn, who's probably long since retired, and then Jay Bradley. Jay Bradley, he's not stiff, but you know he's there. You know he's there.
You feel it.
Oh yeah, you feel it.
Yeah,
but that's fine. I kind of like working that way a little bit with some of the guys. So some people are light, some people are really heavy. In which case, I'm like, you'll know because I won't be in the ring for long. I'll be out there like resetting. Like screw this. And then some people are snug, which is that like nice medium. I think there was one time where I kind of maybe have pissed him off and he clubbed the shit out of me. I'm like, oh God, okay. And I view Brad as like my older brother and like that I never had. I'm the oldest child, so I view him as like the older brother that I never had, but definitely needed like growing up for knowledge and stuff. He's kind of like every time I get like a little too into myself or like I'm too like, God damn, they're screwing me, and I call him. I'm like, Brad, what do you think of this? And he's like, dude, calm down. He's like Matt, shut the fuck up. I'm like, oh, wow. All right, I guess, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, who am I, right? Okay. But yeah, so I always value his opinion on things because he's been around and made a few mistakes and he's learned from them. And even if they weren't mistakes, but like for him to be WWE, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, like it's something valuable to learn from. So like I said, it all goes back to like who I surround myself, who I train with. He's somebody who's done something in this business. So, yeah.
So you did have a injury that kind of slowed you. That kind of slowed a little bit of what you had going down, which from what I've heard.
Yeah.
How was the rehabs for them, man? Because I know rehabbing is always brutal.
Man, I don't. This one, this is a weird injury. It's not a dislocated shoulder; it's a separated shoulder. So, where your AC joint, you have that little bump there. And this guy his is weird, but it's there still. But it's only held together, like your collarbone links into where the top of your shoulder is, with these small tendon ligaments, very small. And I was taking a big boot from a guy, got hit wrong, fell wrong. They snap. And once those things snap and tear off completely, they can't be put back together. They're too small to be held together. So you have to get it reconstructed. All right. You don't necessarily even need surgery depending on how severe it was. There's different grades of this. They grade it 1, which is like it goes away. 2, you have like a little hump. And then 3, you have like a big hump. 4 is abnormal. 6 is abnormal. I had 5. So like my collarbone was in my neck, it was like a chicken bone. I'm like, geez. So I had to go in there. They cut off like a piece of the end piece of my collarbone, drilled 2 like small holes, and they dropped a hamstring ligament to reattach my shoulder. So
that's crazy because I had a torn labrum.
Okay,
in this shoulder. So when they did my surgery, they had to like literally like drop. I literally have a ball that's connected to that. I
had a much severe tear then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when they did mine, I had it arthroscopic. So they did 4 incisions, small ones. You have a straight cut?
No. I have incisions.
You have 4s?
I have about 4.
2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Yes.
Yeah. So they do the same thing. That's the best way to handle a labrum one. But to get that ball in there, you must have really tore something off.
Yeah, I was actually going up for a dunk. Dunked the ball, somebody pushed me down, and I fell on my arm.
Oh, so you probably tore it off the cuff. Mine was torn. The ligaments were torn. You probably tore it off the cuff, and they had to put it in there, and that ball is probably holding it in there. That's ugly, man. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that.
Oh yeah, just to let everybody know, if you get me on the court, I will bust your ass.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And then for me, so like I think the rehab on this was longer than the one for this. Because as soon as I was done and out of that sling, the worst part is being in the sling for like 8 to 9 weeks. That's the worst because they want you to sit there and they want this ligament to like settle and all the collagen to sit and harden. Problem with that is like once I start moving it again, it's a hamstring ligament. Just like any muscle, it stretches and it condenses. So as soon as I start working out again, it's going to go up and down and up and down, but it's still going to hold because the hamstring ligament is stronger than the tendons that were in there originally. So as far as rehab goes, it was honestly, there's still some things like I'm always going to know I'm injured in that shoulder as opposed to like this one where I have my days, but I don't necessarily, it doesn't really impact me. This, like I'm always going to know it's a big nuisance, but as far as getting back to where I was, as far as everyday function, I think I was done in like 3 months. And then I was back in ring shape. I was done in 3 months. It was basically Christmas. I was ready for the show in January. And Book just wanted me to come out there and help somebody win the tag titles.
I remember that. Yeah. You were very pivotal in that.
It was like six together.
So that's why we were like, man, we haven't seen this guy. And then all of a sudden, you're the champ. It's like, he had something already planned. Something had
I
that
did
happen.
not have anything to do with that whatsoever. I was just as surprised when I got my hand raised that day. I won this thing.
But that's good though, because you have to see it as, okay, Book sees something in you. The same way Book sees something in Gaspar, the same thing Book sees in Q, same way Book sees in Promise. Yeah. Like for you to actually come off of injury and then the span of 5 months be the champ now, it's kind of impressive. That tells you a lot.
Yeah. I still am like dumbfounded about it, to be honest. I'm like, I don't think this was the plan, but hell, I mean, we're here now, so let's run with it and make the most out of it. That little bastard, Rudy Garza, likes to give me a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to touch on that, too.
Oh, let's talk about him. Let's talk about Rudy Garza.
He definitely hit me up about that. I was like, wow, you guys are really going at it on social media. He was like, yeah, I'm really the best champion. You know,
he can wake up from that dream anytime. Anytime, buddy. You can wake up from that. Maybe about 40 more pounds, you might have something to say. But I don't get into...
I'm petitioning. I'm going to petition the A-Book. Set it up. champion versus champion. Television. Well, if he stays there,
Oh yeah, I don't know how he's gonna fare. I mean, you think I got bad out of that?
It's like you got to go against Stints.
As soon as I saw the post, I'm like, well, you had a good run, Rudy.
Good fun while it lasts.
That's what jumped it off.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
That's what jumped it
Well,
off.
you had a good run. That was the ongoing joke for me, like down in OVW, when guys would they'd have their title and they'd lose it within like 2 to 3 months or something like that. I'm like, yeah, you had a good run. I'm like, they'd come back like, this is bullshit, man. I just won this thing. I don't understand what I did wrong. I'm like, yeah, you had a good run though. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? The other guy had it for a year. I'm like, he had a good run too, whatever. It's like, nah. But with Rudy, oh God, he's a good dude though. He's a good dude, but come on, man, wake up. Really.
Oh, man. Okay, so a few more things before we get up out of here, because we are running a little past time. But before we get up out of here, man, I want to ask your dream match, past, present, and future. Who would you, if you could book yourself in a dream match, who would it be against?
I'd have to be a little bit taller, but Randy Orton for sure. I'm a little disappointed that I have not made it to a certain company right now to work with that guy, because I think I was saying it before it was even cool to say it. That son of a bitch is the best fucking worker of the, like, I mean,
Yeah.
90s, 2000s, 2010s, even 2000. When that guy comes back, if he comes back, dude, there's not going to be anybody to lace that dude's boots, hold his jockstrap, get him coffee, and call him sir at the same fucking time. You know, like, that dude is too damn good. And as good as he was, his father was probably even better of a worker, a wrestler. Like, yeah, I would see him post some shit. Like, I stole a lot. Like, when a lot of things that he would do that would look cool, like from his old man too. Like, I see how he does it. He took what his old man did and he implemented it in his match. And it wouldn't even be like moves that he would do. It would be things like, oh, if I get hit this way, like, gets all spaghetti leg and he falls forward. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm taking that because nobody else is doing it.
Right.
You know, little things like that where it's like, I don't do anything, but I'm doing something.
Little details.
I'm doing something. Yeah, man. That's the art. That's the art in motion. That even I think Randy Orton called it art in motion. But yes, definitely Randy Orton for sure. But I'd be a little upset because he's like 6,000 feet tall. You know? So yeah, him, probably of today as well. Ziggler, Roman, obviously, just for points of like, when you want to work the guy who's at the top.
I like that. Cause see, that's a person that we really don't give flowers to. Ziggler.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't give flowers to Ziggler like how we should.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Very underrated.
Selling, working, everything.
Yeah.
You make you look like $1 million.
Oh yeah. But that dude, that's his job though.
Yeah.
That's his job. Everybody thought like, oh, he deserves so much better. I mean, the guy is.
I think he understands his role in this business. So.
Pretty sure his check is.
You could say that all you want on the internet. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. The guy gets paid $2.2 million a year to make superstars.
Make boys look good.
Dude, like, who cares?
Right. If I'm cashing that check, look.
Yeah.
I'll look at the lights for make you look good.
Yeah.
Look at the lights every other night.
Hey, man,
absolutely.
I got to Claymore you in like 30 seconds tonight. Vince is paying me, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Sure.
Is the check cashing?
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Wait, hold on. Let me check my yearly salary. Yeah, I could get paid in 30 seconds.
Like, which side you want?
Yeah. Yeah, let me know.
You want to kick?
My direct deposit is still the same.
Yeah. You know who else though? Rick Rude. I'd love to work Rick Rude, and then I would have also liked to work Junkyard Dog. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Eddie Guerrero.
We get that a lot.
And I'm going to throw this out there to kiss ass, but not Booker T too. Booker T too. Oh, you know, something like that's got to come down eventually. But you know, the sad thing is like all these guys that I'm even mentioning, like they're gone, or like now I don't even know if I'd want to have that kind of match with them right now, because I think the only one that's really capable of going is Roman and Ziggler, and Ziggler probably not so much, and Roman is where he's at. So, if that's where it is, but like, so Roman is probably the only most logical one at this point in time, but it sucks because like all these greats, all these people you mentioned, like all these people, even when Ryan was on, like they're gone.
Yeah.
They're essentially gone. So it just goes to show you like how much better it was as far as like even early 2000s, maybe the 90s and stuff. Yeah, that it is now.
Yeah.
I can't name you a guy on the roster that I'd really, really want to have a match with that wasn't around also 10, 20 years
10 years ago.
That's
You ever stop and think about that one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's really nobody that could touch those guys that were there.
Yeah.
Right. What about you,
Damn.
Gaspar?
This is your interview. I'm just here. looking for you.
I kind of want to know,
He
man.
just
Like, I don't know who
keeping
would
an
be
eye
tall
on me
enough
right
to
now.
win.
I was always a fan of Scott Hall.
I can see that.
Oh, Razor Ramon. That's all I ever wanted to be. I'd love to have be able to do something with that guy.
Damn, they're about the same
Yeah.
size.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, you sure you're not related to Scott?
Big match, man. Big man match right there.
Or at least his twisty cousin, Razor.
And so the last thing, man. Usually, I don't want to go through the whole speed round. Just one of the questions out of it. Your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, well, it's probably the same guy I want to work with. Randy Orton for sure.
Okay.
Randy Orton for sure.
Okay.
I got a ton of them, but if I had to put somebody at the top, it'd be Randy. And unfortunately, though, it's because how he's been booked.
Okay. So, and with that, man, no Summer Champions next week, July 15th.
Get ready, get
Going
ready.
anywhere, baby.
You got-
staying right here.
You got the
And
champ.
Steel.
You'll see me
Next
on the
time
tag
you-
team.
yeah, next time
Tag
we
Champ
talk to him,
podcast. Next time,
it'll be
same
and Steel.
freaking title.
And Steel, your Reality of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
It's-
Matty
And
Ice.
still your tag team champions
And
too.
Steel. Well, yeah,
We got a fatal 4-way on the way.
Oh shit!
they'll handle that.
We've done that dance before.
I know y'all have.
that's right.
They'll handle it. They'll be all right.
And
And
you still
Steel.
here. You was here. You was here with that. You was here
the
with
last
that
time
the
we
first
were talking
time,
to
and you still got it. So I don't.
And
Same result's gonna come out again this time.
And
right.
Steel.
Hey,
The best faction in Reality of Wrestling, the Heat and Steel. I'm calling it now. They're going to run the table.
Oh, you stamping it. Oh,
They
you gonna run the table?
Straight
They're
through
running the table.
Run through. Clean
No,
sweep, baby.
clean sweep, no losses. They're going to stay the tag champs.
I don't even know who Promise fighting.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Well, no, wait, it don't matter.
Well, she's going up against whoever wins that Rumble, right?
Yeah, it's a rumble.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But Steel and Steel.
And still.
And
Absolutely.
Steel. And then at the end of that cage match, we're gonna hear it again. And Steel, your Reality of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Matty Ice.
That's right, baby.
I'm calling it now.
New theme music, new T-shirt on the way for that show specifically. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
Ice Mania is running wild on you.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
The Iceman coming.
And it will never die. Buried 6 feet under, baby.
Hey, man, thank y'all again for joining the show, guys. We do appreciate y'all for coming in. Definitely appreciate you, Matty Ice, for coming from Chicago just for the show. Big G, good to have you back at the show, man. Next time, just don't stare at me too hard, man. I'm not doing anything wrong over here,
I
man.
think I saw a Culture Inc. shirt back out there. Is that true?
I'm sorry?
Is that what I saw? A Culture Inc. shirt?
What we talking about here?
You got a Culture Inc. shirt back
Yeah, I think I
there.
saw a Culture Inc. You down with the Heat?
Hold on now. Hold on.
Go get that
Of
shirt.
course.
Yeah, where's that shirt?
What Coach
Yeah, where's that
shirt?
shirt? Hold on. Somebody, go
I might
grab
have
that
been
shirt.
mistaken.
real
I
quick.
Coach shirt I got.
might have been
I don't-
mistaken.
You might have been
Might have
mistaken.
been
That was a
mistaken.
mistake,
I think you took
Gaspar.
the red pill. You should have took the blue one. It was the red pill. It was
Culture
the red.
Inc.
I better not
t-shirt.
see no Culture Inc. shirt.
Yeah,
I got you.
I mean, we're
I
going-
got you, G.
You gotta get a Heat shirt.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact,
hold on.
I
No.
want that Heat shirt.
Yo, we was
I want that
we
shirt.
just got on cue about that the last
I
show. We
want
were like,
that
yeah.
shirt.
He was like,
I will
need to
wear
throw
that shirt proudly.
He was like, I need to throw that at the book, and we need to sell it as merch. If y'all talking about, I was like, yeah.
Telling me,
Make
man. I
that
saw that.
merch. Book, if you watching this, make that merch.
We
I
need
want that shirt. I need that
Heat
shirt for
was
the
so
culture.
live.
That's a live shirt. I want it. I need it.
I like it too. I tell you, Charmel comes up to me. She goes, "Here's your shirt." You know, like, it's just like here's your shirt.
She's not
Here's
really a fan of it.
You know, here's your shirt, and I'm like, really? I ain't taking this thing off.
Yeah, I saw that shirt. I saw those shirts. I was like, yeah, I need one of those. I need one of those.
So we definitely got on cue about it.
Don't worry about it.
Get rid of your culture and get rid of your fly def shirts. Get yourself.
What do you guys doing?
Say less.
Get on the train, baby.
Hey,
Say less. Say less, champ.
We have been told, and I need OG Professor Slack. We need y'all to get that. We need you to get that shirt. We need Zello to get that shirt. We need
Mikey.
Basically all big propaganda need to have that shirt, and they warned us. All right, so we need to.
It's all about the 5.
The fight.
It is the 5 now.
The 5. Yeah,
I need that heat shirt. I really do.
I do
man.
need that heat shirt.
And once again, man, thank y'all very much for joining the show, man. You already know my name. Well, before I get, let me shout out everybody else. Shout out to Mikey Manslaughter Facts. Shout out to Zillow Smoke. Shout out to OG Slack. Shout out to Kung Fu Eddie. Make sure y'all check out Shots and Chops on the PWO Network. Make sure y'all check out the next episode of the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast. And now, you already know my name. The Beige Bomber, the Petty Messiah, the Belt Collector. Corey Jarrett in the building.
Hey man, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Don't watch me watch Dynamite TV, man. Guru Dynamite. Hey man, I'm just trying not to get beat up right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gaspar's been like
Gaspar's been eyeing Corey, and yeah.
And I've been in my corner.
I'm chilling. I'm just chilling.
Thank y'all again, guys. Thank y'all for joining the show. And we're out.